Hey guys, I'm Eddie, and in this video I'm going to be talking about the Z06 and the Corvette Grand Sport. More than anything, this video is going to be explaining why I chose the Grand Sport over the Z06. I would like to mention that if you're having to come across this decision, which is a terrible decision to have to make, whether you're going to get a Z06 or a Grand Sport, there are worse things in the world. Um, I do suggest that you to go ahead and test drive both, and that will hopefully be what leans you in one direction or the other versus what I say, because honestly, I'm not an expert. As a full disclaimer, I did not test drive the Z06. The reason I did not test drive the Z06 is because I did not want to, and I'm being completely honest, I did not want to fall in love with the 650 horsepower. And I did not want that to lead me to have to spend an additional 12 to 14 grand, which is ultimately what financially the difference is between the Z06 and the Grand Sport. Well, financially from a upfront standpoint, but on top of that, I mean, the gas consumption in the Z06 uh, should be greater than that of the Grand Sport. But anyway, when we're talking about V8 American, basically sports cars, we should not be discussing fuel economy, even though it is pretty cool to check on it every now and then. Notice that you're doing almost 30 miles to the gallon on the highway in the Grand Sport. But without further ado, let's just talk about what we came here to talk about. And I have a split screen open right now with the Corvette.com website, and this is a US website. If you're in another country, you may have a different website, in which case, hopefully it looks the same and you can follow along. Um, but up front, looking at this website, you do notice that the 0 to 60 times are significantly different in the Z06 and the Grand Sport, as the Z06 does it's a sub 3 second 0 to 60 time versus the Grand Sport does 3.6. I know that if I would have gotten either the Z06 or my Grand Sport right now, I know I cannot reproduce this 3.6 0 to 60 time, and I'm pretty sure you can't either. And the reason for that is because this is under ideal conditions and this is the automatic. I do not have an automatic, and I'm very happy about that. If you want an automatic, well, good for you. And the other thing I wanted to tell you is I do not think that we should keep on propagating this thought that one car is inferior to the other. We're all part of a Corvette family. We all should get along. We should all be enthusiasts and be very supportive of everybody's decisions. This name calling that occurs on the internet for people choosing one car over the other, come on, guys, we're better than that. This is kind of childish, so you should just drop it. So let's keep on discussing here about the Z06 and the Grand Sport. I think that the engine overheating issues for the Z06 was addressed. Is to my knowledge that the production of the engines was delayed by, excuse me, the production of the Z06 was delayed by a month for the 2017 model year because they were addressing this issue. So without further ado, um, when you look at the starting MSRP for the Z06, you do notice it's 79,450. If you guys saw my video yesterday, or you didn't see it yesterday, but I posted a video yesterday where, excuse me as I clear my throat, where I configured my car, and my car's sticker price was 79,360. And so the Z06 starts at, well, my car basically ended up being with all the bells and whistles that I wanted on it. So on the left-hand screen over here, I'm going to go ahead and build a Grand Sport. And on the right screen over here, I'm going to build a Z06. And so this car is already built to my liking, and I went ahead and saved some time and built a similar Z06, but we're still going to go through it. One of the things I want to mention before we get started is this price that's up here. That already includes the cash allowances that General Motors is adding onto the cars immediately, I guess, upon production. I think that they're not selling as well, or they're making too many of them, and so there's a $5,000, about a $5,500 cash deduction on the Grand Sport, and about $6,000. And I think that that would be basically the same price you would get off the car if you were to use the GM supplier discount or the educational discount. There are a couple of discounts that you can get through General Motors, and you should definitely check at your workplace if you're eligible for those discounts, because you might be able to tag those on top of the price of the car. So clicking along, coops for both 2LZ over here. I made a mistake and I'm grateful for one of my viewers who pointed out that the on the Grand Sport and on the regular Stingray and the Z51, the interior trims are called 1LT, and then on the Z on the Z06 is 1LZ. But otherwise, it's the same. It's the same options on the packages. So we're gonna click next. I guess I clicked twice. So let's go over here to color, and the colors are the same color. The same colors are available. There's a glitch in the system where it's only showing 3 interior colors, but in reality there are far more than that. But for one reason or another, I think they're doing updates to these websites, and I was having trouble making this video yesterday for that reason. So under packages, I did not select the packages for either one. I already talked about this on another video, so I'm just going to gloss over it. On the exterior, one of the things I wanted to mention about the exterior, and this is a personal preference of mine, I like these tail lights. I do like the red tail lights more than I like the smoked out black tail lights that are available on the Z06, if this will ever load. Let's see here. Okay, so see the tail lights here, how they're kind of smoked out, and over here they're just the regular tail lights that are available on the Z51 and the Stingray. I prefer these tail lights over these, and this is just my personal preference. You may like the smoked out tail lights better. The Z06 has a larger bulge on the hood as well, and I don't, that's not a big deal for me. The other thing that I do prefer on the Grand Sport over the Z06, as I scroll over, are the wheels. The wheels on the Grand Sport they're less complicated. They look like they're easier to clean versus the Z06 wheels, which I think are pretty badass myself, but they have more spokes, therefore making it a little bit more challenging to clean. I know it's a minute thing, but ultimately it's something I like more. So I went ahead and checked all the same boxes over here on the Grand Sport that I have on my car, which are the 7-speed manual and the red brake calipers here under mechanical options. Over on the Z06 side, however, you might notice that you do not have the option for the red painted brake calipers. Why they did this as such, I do not know, but somebody will correct me. But it does not exist in red for the Z06, and I think that that's unfortunate. But I checked off the exterior options on both cars to kind of have a comparable build here, so you can see the difference in price, which is what ultimately I'm trying to illustrate. Transparent roof panel, carbon flash package. I tried to find the carbon flash package for the Z06 and was unable to find it. I think that might be a bug in the system more than anything else, but either way, just tack on $100 to the Z06 final price, because it's the same cost, and the Corvette Museum, which I've already raved about plenty, and I think that you should go ahead and pull the trigger on that if you buy your car. Not if, when you buy your car, because you're definitely going to get one of these. So we're already noticing the substantial difference in price. Checked off the boxes for the navigation and data recorder, the competition seats, carbon fiber trim, and I think that makes it about it. So let's go over here to summary, because I know I didn't check off any accessories, and you will see the difference in price. And once again, I already mentioned the cash allowances, which is $5,500 for the Grand Sport, and $6,400, which is pretty substantial for the Z06. Ultimately, it is the difference. I went ahead and worked it out before I recorded the video to save you guys time, but the difference between the Grand Sport and the Z06 in price is $12,415. To me, that's a substantial amount of money. If you are looking into these cars, you know, that might not be such a big deal for you. This was my first Corvette, and so I kind of had to make a stretch from an economic standpoint to be able to afford the car in the first place. So I did not have those extra $12,000 to pay for the car, not to mention the gas guzzler tax that you need to pay with the Z06. And it's going to be foolish that I say this, but additional gas. So yeah, ultimately that's the reason why I chose the Z06, excuse me, the Grand Sport over the Z06. Ultimately, pick whatever car is better for you. That's why I chose the Grand Sport, and you may differ in opinion, and I'm perfectly cool with that. Ultimately, I'm not qualified to give you guys advice. I'm just showing you guys what I did and how I made the decision to get my car. Yeah, thanks for watching, and thanks for my new subscribers. I appreciate it. Have a great day.